deep, resounding voice. "I fight this day in your honour, my lady queen, and would humbly request a token to take into battle." The Doonians clapped and hooted their encouragement. I bit my lip. A token? Was I supposed to give him a kiss or something more tangible? I tried to remember what I'd seen in movies. Kenna tugged on the tip of my braid and instructed, "Give him something he can wear, Heiny." I shot my smart apple friend a glare at the nickname she'd taken to using recently, a combination of highness and behind. "To keep me humble," she claimed. I rolled my eyes at her as I stood and pulled an emerald ribbon from my hair. Getting into the spirit of the moment, I cleared my throat and proclaimed, "Prince James Thomas Kellen MacCrae, my bravest knight, I bestow my favor upon thee." There were whoops and applause as Jamie took a knee and bowed his head over his flexed right arm. I would never get used to the boy who'd been groomed from birth to be king kneeling to me. Hastily, I tugged him to his feet. With the entire kingdom watching, I brushed my fingers over his sun-warmed skin and wrapped the ribbon around his bulging bicep, just below his tattoo. Even placing it at the indentation of his muscles, the ends of the cloth barely met. As I pulled the knot tight, Jamie leaned down and murmured against my ear, "Thank you, my heart." A shiver ricocheted up my spine, and when he caught my gaze with that wicked spark in his eye, I knew he'd felt my reaction. I adjusted the band of fabric and whispered, "Try not to get yourself killed. I may require your services later." Jamie grew still, and I arched a brow at him, curling up one side of my mouth. "As a chaperone for the festival, of course." A low chuckle escaped his chest, and our eyes met in silent understanding before he turned and jumped off the bleachers. Once on the field, he swung up onto Crusoe's back, took the reins, and wheeled the horse around in one graceful, seamless motion. Then he glanced back over his shoulder to make sure I was watching. Show off. As Duncan guided Mabel away from the stands, Kenna shot to her feet and shouted his name. Just as he turned back, she chucked a dark ball in his direction. Duncan reached up and caught it. Then, to the delight of the crowd, Kenna yelled, "Go get him, ogre!" He gave a salute and then galloped after his brother. Together, they rode to the center of the arena, where the pipers had cleared off and a group of boys were constructing a fighting ring made of ropes and weighted poles. I glanced at my BFF just as she slipped her pale foot back into her shoe. "Did you just give Duncan your sock?" I squeaked. "Yep." She nodded and then turned to me with an impish grin. "I just hope he ties it somewhere far away from his nose." With a hoot of laughter, I grabbed her hand and pulled her against me. "I love you." She wrinkled her nose and shrugged. "I know." Back on the field, Duncan was wisely attaching Kenna's sock to the weapon holster at his waist, while Jamie loosened up by rolling his neck from side to side. The brothers' competitors had arrived, Fergus and his only slightly less mountainous cousin, Ewan Lockhart. Fergus tied the length of his strawberry blonde hair back from his face and blew someone in the audience a kiss. I leaned forward and saw Fiona catch it and hold it to her chest, giving her husband a broad wink. They had to be the cutest married couple I'd ever known. "Esteemed ladies and gents of Doon," the announcer boomed. We took our seats and Kenna tilted her head to the side. "The acoustics in here are great. That guy isn't even shouting." But I was barely listening. I smoothed the hair around my crown, tugged on the sleeves of my blouse, and worked to paste a calm expression on my face. I hated this part. The announcer continued. "Today, an ancient feud that dates back hundreds of years before the Covenant will be played out before our eyes. The esteemed clan Lockhart versus the noble clan MacCrae." The crowd roared, the reverberation of their joined voices and stamping feet signaling the beginning of the fight. Duncan and Fergus exited the ring. Apparently this was a tag team match and Jamie was up first. Ewan Lockhart crouched in one corner. With his thick build, shaggy dark hair and beard, he resembled a Sasquatch ready to pounce. In the diagonal corner, Jamie drew his weapon and bounced on the balls of his feet, my pulse jumping with him. The Doonians had been chattering about this match for weeks, making friendly wagers and trash-talking. It was the highlight of the games. Too bad I wasn't going to get to enjoy it. "Vee, open your eyes," Kenna hissed.